Hey everyone, welcome to Otaku Talk. It's me, your boy, your host, OD, and today we'll be reviewing and analyzing chapter 1088 of One Piece. What an exciting chapter. We had a great shonen cover, like the Shonen magazine. They had a cover of both Luffy and Anaki, the guy playing Luffy in the live action. So that was pretty cool. And time is really flying. I know we've been waiting on this live action. I think I heard about this live action at least 2 years ago. So the fact that it's going to be coming out in a little over a month is kind of crazy to me. It's a little bit surreal. I've told you guys before, I'm cautiously optimistic about this. Like, I don't know. The thing with live actions is everyone has a super low expectation of them. So anytime someone like me comes along and I have a certain expectation of it, people are like, your expectations are too high, that's unrealistic, it's a live action, they can't do this, they can't do that. I disagree. I think you should have high expectations and you should hold them to specific standards, because we're getting things where we're losing certain things from the manga and people are just chalking it up to, oh, you can't do that. And I have problems with that. Maybe I'll do a video about that later. This isn't the time for that. We also get a really, really cool cover art where it is Luffy and the gang, and pretty much the what's it called? Is it West Blue? I think it's the West Blue arc, and I think it is the West Blue arc drawn with current Oda art style. So I thought that was super cool, and we see just a bunch of villains, Axeham Morgan, I think Arlong, a bunch of other people. We see Sanji, Zoro in his Arlong Park outfit, and Luffy. So that was really interesting. Anyway, if this is your first time on this channel, would greatly appreciate if you could like, share, and subscribe. Would mean the absolute world to me. Anyway, without much further ado, let's get into this review. Alright everyone, chapter 1088 of One Piece, the last lesson, or the final lesson. So we start off this chapter and Garp, I guess, is a guest speaker at the Naval Academy. We see our boy Koby there. We also, I believe, see Helmeppo. And surprisingly, we see Prince Groose. There's no way you can get over that long brim cap of his, right? And so they're doing this kind of trolley cart exercise. And, there's this island full of dangerous beasts and monsters, right? And you're on a boat that can only fit two. There's an old man and a baby. What do you do? And so, Koby, true to form, stands up, is all like, I stay behind on the island and let the baby and the old man go. And Garp is like, wrong! You leave that half-dead geezer. And I was like, damn, because I kind of thought, like, that's kind of the answer the Marines would be kind of looking for. But no, Garp is more along the lines of saying, hey, you bet on the future. It's more important to preserve youth, to preserve the next generation, than it is to, say someone whose life has been lived. And to a certain degree, I get that. I think it's a little bit different when your job as a Marine is to, protect civilians. You're supposed to put civilians over you. But I kind of get where Garp is coming from. At first, when I first read this part, I was a little bit shocked because, I thought Garp would give kind of the answer where you nut up and you take out all those monsters. You make that island your own. You become king of that island. And then I thought it was going to be that kind of thing. So that was a surprising take, but it makes a lot more sense once we get to the end of the chapter. So anyway, the actual, I guess, instructor or normal teacher for the Marines hates that answer, takes Garp in the back, and is like, you can't teach him that. And she basically all lives matters him. And I just thought that was hilarious. And honestly, it has such parallels to modern day. Not going to get political with this, but it's so funny that she basically gives the all lives matter answer, even though in this world, similar to what happens in this world, it is abundantly clear that is not the case. literally the Marines work for the Gorosei, right? And the Bitu, why did I butcher that? The Celestial Dragons, right? And so clearly, all lives do not matter. And we have seen time and time and time again the Celestial Dragons putting their lives above everyone else. We've seen regular humans putting their lives above, fishmen and stuff like that. So that was a really, really curious thing to be said. I honestly feel as though the original instructor truly feels that way. Maybe she hasn't gotten out much. Maybe she hasn't really seen a lot of the world. Maybe she hasn't been given orders that have made her compromise her morality and ethics. But I was like, oh, you sweet summer child. No. No. So after that lecture, we get a flashback back to Amazon Lily, where Blackbeard and the Amazonians are having a fight, and Blackbeard is essentially going to wipe out all the Marines and I believe some of the Amazonians that are there. And Kobe takes it upon himself to volunteer himself for tribute and say, hey, in exchange for everyone else, take me. And honestly, if that isn't Kobe, what is? I do like the line where like Blackbeard is essentially like, while you value yourself highly and whatnot, but the fact of the matter is, I guess he knew his own worth because Blackbeard did end up taking him. So I guess it was the whole, hero of the Rocky Port incident kind of thing that ended up making Blackbeard go, okay. I also think that a part of him did think that maybe there's a chance that Garp would come to rescue Kobe, and I'm going to talk more about that at the end of the episode. At the end of the video. Also, something I want to talk about that I didn't talk about in my last chapter review is simply the fact that I gave Kobe a lot of shit for falling into that obvious trap, right? Even Prince Groose is like, it's an obvious trap. And I think that's Oda's way of showing us that like this is Kobe's personality. This is something that Kobe will do. This is what separates Kobe from, everyone else. This is why Garp said he's the future of the Marines. He's the pillar of the Marines. And it's what separates him from someone like King Groose. Prince Groose. Because I think at the end of the day, we're going to have a moment where Kobe does this again, and the stakes are much higher, and it's also a clear trap, but it doesn't matter. Just like he answered the question earlier where he was willing to sacrifice himself, he was always going to pick that answer for the most part, right? And I think this like kind of goes back to the idea of what a hero is, as well as like, for My Hero Academia fans, a hero doesn't think, they act. They see danger, their legs start moving. And I think it's a matter of that. I think that, yes, he has observation haki. Yes, his observation haki is really good. But when he sees someone in need, when he sees someone that needs help, he's not going to second guess it. He's not going to think. He's not going to think about, like, the ramifications or if it's a trap. He is going to help because that is who he is as a person. And, that's his way. It's kind of like, it's going to be one of those annoying things that's going to piss us off. But it's just like, Sanji with women, right? It's just a core part of his, character and his personality, and I just don't see that changing. So I think that was an intentional, character design, and I do think that it will have, I think it's gonna come back. I think it's going to come back. So anyway, flash forward back to modern day, and we have Garp lying on the floor, and everyone freaking out on the ships, and they're essentially like, hey, what are we gonna do? Alvaro Pizarro is about to use the island fruit to sink. Is it one ship or multiple ships? It looks like it's one ship, which I want to talk about that too. But about to sink the ship, right? And they're all like, what are we gonna do? What's gonna happen? The people on the ship are preparing to jump overboard, and Garp is just like, you guys can handle this. And they're like, wait, what? And he's like, I'm going to create an opening for you guys. Once I create that opening, Kobe, you go take care of the fist. Groose, you're going to take care of the debris. And Hamapo, you're just going to make sure that no one gets in their way so that they can focus at the task at hand. Of course, they're always like, whoa, what are you talking about? You're putting a lot on our plate right now. But he's like, don't second guess yourself. just act. And basically he's like, now go. And they're like, yes, sir. And they spring into action. In that moment, we get an amazing scene where my boy Garp just gets up, decks the ever-loving mess out of Aokiji, and then you just see him spring from building to building to building, cracks back and hits Alvaro Pizarro right in the island head with Galaxy Divide. And I was just like, oh my god, Garp goes so goddamn hard. Now, not gonna lie to you, a little confused about one thing. Why exactly was it necessary for him to hit him in the face? So we see in this moment, and there's something else we see later, when Garp uses the Galaxy Divide, punches Alvaro Pizarro in the face, we see the actual body of Alvaro Pizarro like bleed, get hurt. So obviously, a great deal of hockey is being used, whether it's some form of, Ryu or, external armament or conquerors. That jump penetrated the actual body. But I was thinking to myself that entire time, and if there's a reason, let me know. I was like, why did he have to go anywhere? The entire island is Alvaro Pizarro, right? Why couldn't he have just, stood up where he was and just hit the ground, right? I mean, it wouldn't have been his face, but maybe it would have been like, his gut or something. So I was just really confused about that. Was it really necessary to hit him in the face? Maybe Garp didn't think about that. Maybe he thought it would be more potent if he hit him in the face. I don't really know. I also think it's kind of weird that, if he would know that, if he hit him in the face, it would hurt the face of the actual user. He is old. He is a vet. He's maybe seen a bunch of Devil Fruits, and maybe there's common rules to how these things work. But I don't know. That was a little interesting to me. Maybe you can just, shoot away with he has observation hockey, and his observation hockey let him know like this was the right course of action, right? So anyway, they're dipping out. They're dipping out to go stop the hand of Alvaro Pizarro from smashing the ship. And by this point, Alvaro Pizarro is way pissed off. He is super mad about this entire situation. And, Groose is like, hey, like, what are you going to do? Do you have a bomb on you? Like, how is it? Like, what's the plan here? What's the move here? And, like, Kobe's essentially like, I'm just going to figure it out and just, like, live up to, like, Garth's expectations. And that is not an acceptable answer for Groose, and I completely agree, right? While this is happening, a cannon or something gets shot at them, and Helmeppo is freaking out this entire time. He is really not about this action, but, he's a Marine now. He's had training. He's not the little bitch he was in the beginning of the series. Okay, so ran out of memory while I was recording. Kind of sucks because I don't think I noticed for around 5-10 minutes, but it's okay. I'm a professional. Let's get this going. So anyway, as I was saying, Helmeppo's not the bitch he was, and is able to slash the cannon or projectile. I think he takes some collateral damage from it, right? Take some collateral damage from it. I think there might have been a better way for him to do it, but he did the damn thing. He got it done. I'm proud of him, right? And so we get a flashback, and it's Garp talking to Helmeppo, and he's basically like, "Hey, man, I've been seeing Kobe, despite us not having practices, or I forget what exactly he says." And he's like his hands are like covered in bandages, and like he has his like shoulders are bandaged. Like, what's going on? And Helmeppo's like, I wasn't really supposed to say anything, but he's been doing extra training after your training. And I thought that was super cool because I know I already brought up My Hero Academia, but like it reminded me so much of My Hero Academia because if you remember when Deku was training cleaning, what was it, Dagobah Beach or whatever, All Might put together like this whole training itinerary for him, right? And like it was with his like his body weight, his muscles, all that stuff, like, he put all that shit in mind. And then, behind all that, Deku was still training on his own. And so because of that, during one of the training sessions, Deku passed the fuck out. And so it kind of reminded me of that kind of situation where, Kobe is going above and beyond. And honestly, I fucked with it heavy. Like, I really respect Kobe because, Kobe honestly isn't really talented. You know, he's not a fighter. You know, he wasn't really strong-willed. When he came into the story, he was kind of a little bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like Luffy was able to get that like heart out of him, but it took a while. And I like the fact that, you know, Kobe recognizes that, right? He knows that, you know, in order to satisfy someone like Garp, in order to be in the Marines, in order to fight heartless and powerful pirates, he needs to step his shit up. And because of, you know, how untalented, how untrained he is right now, he needs to train 100 times. No, 200 times harder than everyone else. So it's at this time where we find out he's actually been training with the battleship bags. I thought that was phenomenal. I thought that was amazing. Now here's the thing though. I still love it. It's still cool, but I'm a little annoyed by one thing, and that's, you know, I really, really kind of wish that either in the cover stories or in past flashbacks, we had seen Kobe with some bandages on his shoulders, on his hands. I think this would have made this experience so much cooler. Would have been like a moment that explained where he has these wounds from, because it would have been easy to disguise, because at the time we would have just thought, okay, this is what he's experiencing from training with Garp. But now it would have hit us in a different way, right? Also, by the way, this isn't like a big thing. It's just like a small nitpick that I think would have made this whole like reveal cooler. Last chapter, when we first found out about the battleship bags, really, really, really would have loved it if, you know, during the panel where we see, you know, Garp and Aokiji's battleship bags together, maybe in like slightly off panel or something like that, or in the background we see another battleship bag that has like, you know, some small dents in it or something. I think that would have been really, really cool. We don't really get like a time frame from when what's it called, Iron Body, whatever his name is, and the other person, when they're talking, so there's no real frame of reference. But I'm really, really curious about how, you know, Kobe found out about that. But yeah, I was always wondering this entire time, like, okay, does that mean this is going to be the future for Kobe? Is Kobe going to punch this? Also, Kobe seems to be a kicker too, so is he going to punch and kick the battleship bags? And now it's basically revealed, like, yeah, he's been doing the damn thing. Now, unlike Aokiji during Garp's flashback, we don't know how strong he is now. From the image we see, it doesn't look as, you know, dented as, you know, the time Aokiji and Garp have done it. We don't really have a real frame of reference for like how strong his punches are now, but we can kind of assume that, you know, they're pretty decent because, you know, Kobe goes up and hits the ever loving shit out of Avalo Pizarro's arm, completely annihilating, demolishing the entirety of the arm. We see blood on the actual main body of Avalo Pizarro, and, you know, the remnants of the blood from Avalo Pizarro's face too. Obviously there's some kind of advanced armament haki being used at the least. Ryu external armament haki. Yeah, some people are gonna say it's Conquerors. I don't know. Clearly, you know, Kobe's punch isn't to the level of Garp's, because when Garp does his shit, that entire thing is like massive. It's massive. There's like a whole like hockey AoE aura, and we don't quite get that with Kobe's, but nonetheless, it is still impressive. And so at that moment, we get one of the lamest named attack moves of all time, Honesty Impact. When I saw that, I was like, ooh, okay. I was like, okay, Kobe, a fucking course you would have a name like this. Why do you make it so hard to like root for you and love you? Like, don't get me wrong, I love Kobe, great character. I love the way, I love seeing him come up. But like, Jesus Christ, what the hell is Honesty Impact, bruh? What's next? Integrity Burst? Like, like, dude, I like justice, like Divine Judgment or something, or Justice Reckoning. I don't know. That would have been way better than Honest. What's Honesty Impact, fam? Kobe. But I digress. He's got to work on his named attack moves. I really hope this isn't the direction that he continues to go. But yeah, so that happened, right? After he does that, we have Prince Groose using his Clay Devil Fruit to catch the falling debris, protecting the ship further from any rubble. Honestly, phenomenal, panels. Honestly, brought such joy to my heart to see, Kobe get elevated so much and to see everyone else doing their part, right? And just, the culmination of so much. And honestly, Kobe needs to be promoted straight past what's next, Commodore, straight past Commodore to Rear Admiral, because that was an insane feat. It would be a waste of the Marines to keep him as a captain or a Commodore at this point. He definitely has the potential to be a Rear Admiral. Maybe not quite a Vice Admiral yet. He's right, but he is definitely right there in the ranks. After this feat, he needs to get bumped up a little. So once again, this is not a real criticism of the chapter overall, but I just have to say, where the fuck has Bogard been? I swear to God, if Bogard has been on that goddamn ship and hasn't been doing shit, I'm about to flip my shit. Like, this whole time, since, I don't think I said it last chapter review, but this entire chapter, I was kind of waiting. I thought, when Garp was like, don't worry, justice will prevail, I thought we were going to get a moment where, as the hand's coming down, we were going to have the homie Bogard come out of nowhere with the... just like he did with Kobe in the cover story, and we were just with Kobe's guns. I thought we were going to see that, but with, Abel Bizarro's arms, right? But no! So, Bogard better not be here. Bogard better not be on that goddamn shit, because I will be livid. On top of that, what has Tashigi done? What has Tashigi done? Seriously. It's well, why was she even here? Moral support? Honestly, one of the most disappointing characters in the series. Equivalent to Kid at this point. Because look, her whole thing, I want, to collect all the divine swords and whatnot. I want to take them from all the swordsmen that don't deserve them and whatnot. She looks like Kuina. We thought we were gonna get a kind of rival, Marine rivalry with Zoro. She ain't been shit, never been shit, ain't never gonna be shit. What the hell, man? I truly don't think Oda has any plans for her, which honestly makes him look a little bad because everyone's still stuck on that whole, a woman can never be stronger than a man thing. And, say what you will about real life. This is like comics, anime bullshit. Some of the coolest characters in anime are female. So this is the one place where you can skirt around the rules. And for her to just have been so stagnant and just, irrelevant at times, especially in this moment, is such a bad look for her. Now, I want to make something clear. I totally get what Oda was going for. I totally understand what Garp was going for. He wanted to let the next generation shine. He wants them to know that it's not for us to keep doing this. You guys have to step up. You have to be the next Garp. You have to be the next heroes. You have to be the next generation to lead us forward. You guys are the new pillars, right? So believe in yourself. It kind of reminded me of Gurren Lagann in a way, where Garp was believe in the me that believes in you. And, Kobe's just shit, I guess I have no choice but to get it done, because otherwise we're all screwed. And, I fucked with that. I really did. And, I think a way that would have satisfied me personally is, one, if the Marines came with multiple ships. I know they couldn't really have done that because, Garp kind of just went on this mission on his own, didn't really get permission from anyone. But what I think would have worked really well is if they had at least maybe 3 ships, right? And so as Aval Bizarro is coming down, he's coming down with 3 hands, right? He's coming down with 3 hands, and then we see, Kobe take out the one, but then he's like, oh no, what about the others? And then we see Tashigi and Bogard in that bitch go and cut up the other arms. I think that makes everyone happy, lets Kobe shine, shows a little bit of the prowess of Bogard, and shows that Tashigi is not a useless fucking. But I digress. Anyway, I guess Garp has like a Dendemushi on him or something. And so basically he contacts the ship and he's like, good job, guys. The rescue mission for Kobe has been completed. We got all the hostages. Get out of here. You guys did great. And basically it's just like leave me behind, which brings, what happened in the beginning of the story full circle. Garp is the half dead geezer. And they're the next generation. They're the youth. They're the babies, if you will. And so they're the ones that have to live. They're the ones that have to go on. They're the ones that have to survive. And so they, despite their better judgment or what they want to do, they know it's their duty to leave them behind. And it's the saddest thing. And we get like a little like narrator blurb that's like, on this day, we learned about the rise of the hero Kobe. You know, the hero of the Marines, Garp, has gone MIA, and we hear a story of the siege of Egghead. So I know next chapter we're going straight to Egghead, and I just feel like it's going to be fire upon fire. So that's going to be amazing. Now, everyone seems to think Garp is dead. You're stupid. All right, I don't mean to be rude. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be a dick. But like, come on, guys. This is Garp we're talking about. First and foremost, Aokiji saved him, bro. Aokiji saved him, bro. You see that icicle sticking out of Garp's chest while he's surrounded by all these Titanic captains? Aokiji did that to save him. Come on, guys. Are you serious right now? So it looks like it's originating from the puncture wound that Shiryu left him. Bruh. Aokiji has the worst record of taking out D's in the entire series. Pause. But like, Jaguar D Saw didn't kill him. Pretended to kill him, didn't do it. Luffy froze him up, pretended to kill him, didn't do it. Garp, I think he intentionally froze the opposite of whatever cauterize is, but like sealed in ice that puncture wound so that Garp does not die. And one, I think he makes it look like a spear coming out of him so that the other Titanic, captains can think that, like, okay, he was actually trying to kill him. Also, I think that it's a good, convenient excuse because, listen up, Garp is one of the oldest characters and oldest Marines in the series, right? This dude has lived through Roger, has lived through Zabek, was at God Valley, and he's a veteran and the hero of the Marines. So the amount of memories that he has accumulated is vital. Now, Garp obviously isn't one to crack, but who does Blackbeard have? Pudding. So I honestly think that, it's going to be a situation where either, I feel like it's a bad idea if Aokiji says it, because then that's a little treacherous. But like, I wouldn't be surprised if Aokiji keeps Garp alive for the sake of keeping Garp alive, so that maybe Garp can escape on his own accord. But Teach gets there and he's like, "Great job, Aokiji. This is the final piece of the puzzle. We can use his memories and we can find out about Zabek. We can find out about what went down at God Valley. We can find out about some of the mysteries of the Marines, right?" Now, some of you might be like, well, wouldn't Aokiji know some of that? Aokiji might not share some of it, might be lying about all of it. And, honestly, Aokiji is much younger, so he doesn't know some of the, like, older history, right? So, as of this moment, Garp is a massive, massive asset to the Blackbeard Pirates and Teach. So, there's that. I don't think Garp's dead yet. So, anyway, I'm going to leave you there for today. Let me know what you guys think of the review. Let me know what you guys think of this chapter. Let me know if I missed anything, but this was phenomenal. This was super hype. Let me know if you agree with me and Tashigi, and if I should just let Tashigi go. Let me know if you agree with me and Bogard. Like, Bogard better be if he is on that ship, if he is on that goddamn ship, Anyway, proud of my boy Kobe. Hope he gets an insta promotion, gets to skip 2 ranks. We'll see. Might piss off Bruce. We'll see. But I'm happy to see the future of the Marines. Worried about my homie Garp. Excited to get back to Egghead. Anyway, this has been Otaku Talk. I'm your boy, your host, OD. And thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And have a great weekend, guys. Take care. Peace.